When I moved into the old Victorian house on Hawthorn Lane, I was told that it had been empty for decades. The locals whispered about strange occurrences, but I dismissed their stories as mere superstitions. My goal was to restore the house to its former glory and start a new life. I worked tirelessly, but as the renovations progressed, the house seemed to resist my efforts. Doors would slam shut, wallpaper would peel off, and I'd hear footsteps pacing the halls at night. I began to feel a heavy presence in the house, as if I were constantly being watched. As the days passed, the strange occurrences grew more frequent and intense. I'd find objects in places where I hadn't left them, and the creaking floorboards echoed through the night. One evening, I saw a shadowy figure standing at the end of the hall. It vanished as soon as I turned on the light, leaving me questioning my sanity. The whispers began soon after, faint voices just on the edge of my hearing, speaking in hushed tones. I couldn't make out what they were saying, but their presence was unnerving. Sleep became nearly impossible, and my once beloved restoration project had turned into a living nightmare. Desperate for answers, I started digging into the history of the house. At the local library, I uncovered a series of newspaper articles from the early 1900s. They told a gruesome tale of a family that had once lived in the house. A husband, wife, and their 3 children had all been found dead under mysterious circumstances. The police were unable to determine the cause of their deaths, and the case had remained unsolved. As I delved further into the house's past, I discovered a hidden room beneath the floorboards. Inside, I found a dusty journal that belonged to the wife. Her entries spoke of an evil presence that haunted the family, growing stronger each day. The final entry was a chilling warning: "It will never let us leave." The journal shook me to my core. I couldn't escape the feeling that I had stumbled upon a secret I was never meant to uncover. The eerie occurrences escalated as if the house itself was retaliating against me. The whispers grew louder, forming disjointed phrases that echoed through my mind. I would wake up in the middle of the night, paralyzed, as unseen hands pressed down on my chest. I started to see the shadowy figure more often, its dark form lurking just beyond my field of vision. My sanity began to crumble, and I felt myself slipping into the same abyss that had consumed the family before me. Unable to endure the torment any longer, I resolved to confront the entity that haunted the house on Hawthorn Lane. I gathered my courage and ventured into the hidden room, armed with the journal and a burning desire to end the nightmare. As I descended the creaking steps, the temperature dropped and the whispers intensified. The darkness seemed to close in around me, suffocating and oppressive. In the center of the room, I found an old wooden box. As I opened it, a cold gust of wind blew through the chamber, extinguishing the candles. The whispers ceased, and for a moment, there was only silence. Then, the darkness itself seemed to take form, swirling around me and constricting like a vice. I screamed and began to recite an incantation I had found in the journal, hoping it would banish the entity once and for all. The room trembled, and the darkness shrieked in rage. But as I reached the end of the incantation, a chilling realization struck me. The same incantation had failed the family who had lived here before. They had all died within these walls, unable to escape the clutches of the darkness. With this horrifying understanding, the shadows grew stronger, their cold tendrils enveloping me. As the darkness consumed me, I became yet another victim of the house on Hawthorn Lane, my fate forever intertwined with the tragic history that had unfolded within its walls.